If you're a Muslim traveler, certain countries may pose unexpected challenges. While the world is more connected than ever, some places have become increasingly unwelcoming due to religious discrimination, political tensions, or cultural biases. In this list of 10 countries where Muslims are not welcome in 2024 and 2025, we explore regions where practicing Islam or simply traveling as a Muslim can lead to difficulties. Whether you're planning for work or leisure, watch the full video where these hidden barriers exist and how they might impact your travel experience. 10. Myanmar. Myanmar, a Southeast Asian country, has gained international notoriety for its treatment of the Muslim Rohingya minority. Over the past decade, more than 700,000 Rohingya have been forced to flee to neighboring Bangladesh due to systematic persecution. While the Rohingya crisis is perhaps the most well-known, Muslims throughout Myanmar face hostility. In areas like Rakhine State, where the majority of Muslims lived, mosques have been destroyed, and practicing Islam openly is a risk. Myanmar's government has been accused of ethnic cleansing by multiple international organizations, and Muslims find it incredibly difficult to thrive there. The situation has led to Myanmar ranking among the top 10 countries with the most displaced people in the world, as per a UN report. The hostile environment makes Myanmar a dangerous and unwelcoming place for Muslims, many of whom are left without citizenship and basic rights. 9. China. China's relationship with its Muslim population, particularly the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, is strained at best. Since 2017, over 1 million Uyghur Muslims have been detained in re-education camps, according to human rights organizations like Amnesty International. The Chinese government's aggressive policies in Xinjiang aim to curtail Islamic practices, with reports of mosques being demolished, Uyghur women being forced into interfaith marriages, and Islamic dress and beards being banned. This clampdown extends beyond Xinjiang, with surveillance technologies targeting Muslims across China. While China is a major economic power and a popular destination for trade and tourism, it's becoming increasingly difficult for Muslims to feel welcomed. The global Muslim community has expressed outrage, and in 2024, Muslim tourist numbers to China have dropped by 25% compared to 2018. For Muslims hoping to visit or work in China, the political environment makes it a challenging and, at times, dangerous place. 8. India. India, a country of over 200 million Muslims, is home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the world. However, in recent years, the rise of Hindu nationalism has strained relations between Muslims and the Hindu majority. Anti-Muslim rhetoric has escalated, particularly following the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA, in 2019, which many viewed as discriminatory toward Muslims. Instances of mob violence against Muslims have increased, and in 2023, there were over 500 reported incidents of communal violence. While India boasts rich cultural diversity and a long history of coexistence, many Muslims feel less welcome in parts of the country today. The rising tensions have also impacted tourism, with Muslim tourists increasingly wary of visiting India. Despite the nation's appeal as a tourist destination with its world-renowned landmarks like the Taj Mahal, the political climate has created a significant hurdle for Muslims seeking to explore its beauty. 7. France. France has long been a champion of secularism, or laïcité, but this principle has clashed with the growing Muslim population in recent years. France is home to nearly 6 million Muslims, the largest Muslim population in Western Europe, yet tensions have grown due to laws banning visible Islamic symbols. In 2010, France became the first country to ban the full-face veil in public, and in 2021, the anti-separatism law was introduced, which some Muslims view as targeting their religious practices. Studies show that over 40% of French Muslims feel discriminated against due to their faith. This creates an atmosphere where Muslims feel less welcome, particularly in conservative areas where cultural clashes are more pronounced. Though France remains a top tourist destination globally, with over 89 million tourists annually, the experience for Muslim visitors can be marred by legal and social restrictions, making it a less friendly destination for practicing Muslims. 6. Switzerland. Switzerland is often perceived as a peaceful, neutral country, but for Muslims, it has not always been welcoming. In 2009, Switzerland passed a controversial referendum banning the construction of new minarets, a clear signal of growing discomfort with visible Islamic symbols. While Switzerland has a small Muslim population, about 5% of its 8.5 million citizens, public debates around Islamic practices, such as wearing the niqab or building mosques, have led to a rise in Islamophobia. A 2023 study by the European Network Against Racism revealed that 35% of Swiss Muslims reported experiencing discrimination based on their religion. While Switzerland remains an attractive destination for its picturesque landscapes and world-class living standards, the cultural discomfort with Islam has discouraged many Muslim tourists and migrants from considering the country as a friendly destination. 5. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's beautiful beaches and historical landmarks make it a dream destination for travelers. However, for Muslims, the situation is more complex. In the wake of the 2019 Easter bombings carried out by extremists, anti-Muslim sentiment skyrocketed. Muslims in Sri Lanka, who make up about 9.3% of the population, faced retaliatory violence and social ostracization. Several Muslim businesses were destroyed in the aftermath, and many mosques were attacked. In 2020, the government imposed a ban on burials for COVID-19 victims, disproportionately affecting Muslims who follow Islamic burial practices. Although the ban was lifted in 2021, the scars remain, and Muslims feel less welcome. As of 2024, tourism statistics show a 15% drop in Muslim tourists to Sri Lanka, largely due to concerns over safety and discrimination. 4. Denmark. Denmark, known for its high quality of life and strong welfare system, has been grappling with its relationship with Islam for years. The country's Muslim population is small but growing, representing around 5.5% of the total population. In 2018, Denmark implemented a ban on face coverings in public spaces, including the niqab and burqa, sparking protests among the Muslim community. In recent years, Denmark's government has also introduced stricter immigration laws, some of which disproportionately affect Muslims, particularly from refugee backgrounds. According to a 2023 survey, 55% of Danish Muslims report facing discrimination, especially in housing and employment. Despite Denmark's reputation as a progressive and inclusive society, these policies have created an atmosphere where Muslims, especially women wearing Islamic attire, feel unwelcome. 3. Israel. Israel, a country central to 3 of the world's major religions, has a complex relationship with its Muslim population. While Muslims make up around 18% of Israel's citizens, the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict deeply affects relations. Muslim tourists, particularly those who identify as Palestinian or have strong ties to the region, often face additional scrutiny at checkpoints and border crossings. In the West Bank and East Jerusalem, access to Islamic holy sites, like the Al-Aqsa Mosque, is frequently restricted, especially during periods of heightened tensions. A 2022 report noted that over 4,000 Palestinian Muslims were denied entry to Israel for religious pilgrimages. For Muslims looking to visit the religious sites of Jerusalem, navigating political and military checkpoints can make the journey a tense experience. 2. Greece. Greece, at the crossroads of Europe and the Middle East, has been on the front line of the refugee crisis. Since 2015, over 1 million refugees, many of them Muslims, have arrived on Greece's shores, fleeing conflict in Syria, Afghanistan, and other war-torn regions. However, the reception has not been entirely warm. Muslim refugees are often housed in overcrowded camps under harsh conditions. A 2023 report from the European Council on Refugees and Exiles revealed that Greece has one of the highest refugee rejection rates in Europe, with only 30% of Muslim asylum seekers gaining approval. Additionally, the lack of mosques in Athens, the only European capital without one, forces Muslims to pray in makeshift spaces. The combination of legal obstacles and social challenges makes Greece a difficult place for Muslim migrants and travelers alike. 1. Central African Republic, (CAR). The Central African Republic, (CAR), has been marred by civil war, much of it fought along religious lines. Since 2013, Christian militias and Muslim rebel groups have clashed, leading to a severe humanitarian crisis. The Muslim minority, which once made up 15% of the population, has been driven out of large parts of the country. Over 700,000 people, mostly Muslims, have been displaced, and reports from Human Rights Watch indicate widespread atrocities against Muslims, including killings and forced displacement. For those who remain, practicing Islam publicly is dangerous, as attacks on mosques and Muslim communities are frequent. With over 70% of Muslims forced to flee, the CAR has become one of the most unwelcoming countries for Muslims, especially in conflict zones where they are actively targeted based on their religion.